So a few weeks ago, miHoYo announced that Yae Miko is finally going to be released for 2.5 probably, and once again, like in 2.4, if we guess that all of the Inazuma characters are rerunning, it's going to be hell for free-to-players like me to decide who to pull for. Today, I will try my best to inform you which character you should pull for out of Yae Miko, Ayato, Raiden Shogun, Ayaka, Yoimiya, Kazuha, and Kokomi. Disclaimer. Once again, this video is supposed to inform and not persuade, and ultimately you should roll for whoever you want. Also, I am not confirming that all of the Inazuma characters are going to rerun in 2.5, I am just speculating and guessing that these characters are going to get a rerun quite soon, so take this video with a huge grain of salt. Also, there may be things I've missed as I don't have all of the characters, so let me know in the comments if I did forget something important. Starting off with Yae Miko. She is an electric catalyst, and that's all we know about her. Next, we have Ayato, Ayaka's older brother. There are speculations that he is a Hydropolar, but we don't even know what he looks like yet. Next, we have Ayaka, Ayato's little sister. Ayaka is a really good cryo DPS and a burst DPS. She has a broken burst, she can be used as an alternative to Ganyu in the Morgana team. Freezing enemies makes the game really easy. She doesn't really need a built team. She can hit enemies in Venti's burst. Her AoE is pretty good. She can travel infinitely over water. Her best 4-star weapon is the Amenoma Kageuchi, which is craftable, and her artifact set, the 4-piece Blizzard Strayer, is pretty resin efficient if you are also farming for Tartaglia's artifacts. However, her alternate sprint is pretty clunky and you might not like it. She might have energy issues, and she needs Xingqiu if you don't have Mona or Kokomi. Her constellations 2 to 4 seem to be the best. C1 is okay I think for a charge attack buffing, but C5 and C6 seem pretty bad. Ayaka's bursts probably should be crowned, and maybe also her normal attacks if you really like her. Now it's time for Booba Sword Archon, Raiden Shogun. She's a really good main DPS, sub DPS, she can buff other characters' bursts, she can nuke, she's good in the national team with Xiangling, she is a very good free-to-play weapon known as the Catch, and farming for her artifact set is very resin efficient as she wants 4-piece Emblem of Seventh Fate. Also she wields the Booba Sword. However, if she isn't built correctly, she may have energy issues. Her artifact main stack combinations are somewhat weird in my opinion, since there are loads of different combinations and you don't know which ones, well, I don't know which one's the best. She has to have a team built around her, and her optimal rotation and combos may be hard to learn. For constellations, Raiden's constellation 1 to 3 are all really good, but you should probably stop there, as the rest don't seem that good. Finally, if you want to crown Raiden, just crown her burst. Yoimiya is next, and she is a really good single target DPS. She is ranged, so she can deal with specters and the stupid flying oceanid bird things. She can use a relatively free-to-play bow, namely the Rust. She wants 4-piece Shimenawa's Reminiscence, which is a really resin-efficient domain, and she might not necessarily need Xingqiu. She also makes fireworks, and that's cool. However, Yoimiya is only single target, so she struggles with a lot of enemies. Using her burst leads to pretty weird rotations and probably needs some energy recharge. Her most powerful attack is at the end, so she needs a shield to not be interrupted. She does have an ICD, but apparently it's not that bad. And she needs a team built around her, such as Beidou and Fischl, to provide off-field damage. Her constellations are pretty meh, with C2 and C6 really sticking out to me. The rest make a weird burst better, so you would probably have to do the weird rotation. If you want to crown her, only crown her normal attack, since going from level 9 to level 10 on her skill is only a 1% damage increase, whereas most characters get a 5% or 6% damage increase for a crown, so it isn't worth it to crown her skill. Next we have Kazuha, who stopped the Booba Blade, which is pretty cool. He is one of the best supports in the game, he is an amazing buffer and shredder, his crowd control was decent, exploration isn't the same without him as he can jump mid-air, he can use a craftable weapon, the Iron Sting, quite well, and he can use the strongest support artifact there is, the 4-piece Veridistant Rhaenyra. However, he might have some energy issues, especially if he's the only Anemo character in the team. Rotations with him are pretty weird, and he wants a lot of rare elemental mastery main stat pieces. You might compare Kazuha with Sucrose and Venti, and I will make a video on that sometime in the future, so subscribe so you don't miss it. But to sum things up, Venti is better than Kazuha, who is better than Sucrose for crowd control, but Sucrose is better or equal to Kazuha, who are better than Venti for buffing. Once again, I will make a more in-depth video on this in the future, so don't forget to subscribe. Kazuha's C1 and 2s both seem amazing, and I will personally be trying to go for them if I'm not already broke beyond compare by then. C3 to C5 seem alright, but C6 is definitely his best constellation. It makes him an emo DPS, and it looks really cool. Kazuha doesn't really need high talents before C6, but if you want to do more damage, just level all of his talents up, but not necessarily crown them. Last but not least, Kokomi, Divine Priestess of Watatsumi Island. She is a really solid healer, a good off-field Hydric applicator, she can use the clam set really well, she's a 2-in-1 character for freeze teams, she can use Thrilling Tales of Dragon Slayer comedically well, she frees up Jincho, she has very free to play weapons, and her artifact domains can be efficient if you're building any Geo character, apart from Ningguang and Zhongli, or a physical character, as she can utilize both 4-piece Ocean Hued's clam set and the 4-piece Dynasty of the Millelith. However, healers are generally not in high demand, she has relatively low damage, and in both freeze teams and to Kokomon, she requires other characters to be built. Generally, her constellations seem pretty bad. And finally, you should definitely crown Kokomi's jellyfish for the memes. So in conclusion, if you need a Cryo or Pyro DPS character, go for Ayaka or Yoimiya respectively. If you already have an Elemental DPS character, or don't have another crowd control character, Kazuha is nearly a must-for. If you own Eula or you have a built Xiangling, Raiden is also a good choice that you won't go wrong with, although you might need another polearm for Raiden. And finally, if you already play a freeze team with Ganyu or Ayaka, Kokomi is a good choice. For Yae Miko and Ayato, wait a few days or a week before pulling, so other content creators can showcase how the characters really are. I think that's everything. Writing the script and editing this video took a really long time. Time I probably should have spent revising for my exams. So if you could do me a favour and press the subscribe button down below, I would really appreciate it. You might know me from Mr. Derpinati, my Minecraft channel, and one of my biggest mistakes I made on that channel was not doubling down on videos that do well. So now that I have learned from that mistake, or maybe I haven't, I will be trying to push this channel as high as possible, and I hope you can join me on this journey. In the near future, I am planning to upload character building montages for Diluc, John Lee, and Bennett, which have been overdue for nearly 4 months now, so subscribe to motivate me. Anyway, that is the end of this video. Like, sub, dislike, comment for the algorithm. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.